Dear Mum, firstly, me, Tony and Joe are fine, but we all miss you and Dad dreadfully. As we lined up, ready to go on the train, my heart thumped in my chest. I had to hold my heart to make sure it didn't jump out. As the train gave a large steam cloud and a rattle, we set off. Waving goodbye to you filled my eyes with tears like a flowing river. I am not sure how long the train ride was, but it wasn't too long. All I could think of was you. I was too upset to do anything else. Nervously, I watched the busy Manchester traffic gradually turn into bright green scenery. When we arrived, we were put into lines and were given a food box. It included evaporated milk and some biscuits, a packet of sweets and a large chocolate bar. Anxious, afraid and agitated, we waited to be picked by someone, but everyone were just picking other children and not us. Why were they not picking us? What was wrong? In the end, a couple called Mr. and Mrs. Smith chose us, but she just wanted me. Vic stood up for us and said, I have promised my mum we will stay together. So Mr. and Mrs. Smith gave in and said they will take all of us. Mr. and Mrs. Smith already have a daughter of their own called Nellie Smith. Mr. and Mrs. Smith took us to a large farmhouse. It was a beautiful honeysuckle yellow. The house was huge and very modern. For some reason, Mrs. Smith didn't like me. I thought maybe her daughter was jealous of me and she complained to her mum so her mum would do something about it. As time went on, Mrs. Smith started being unkind to me. We have to go to school there and the children there are horrible and call us names. The Smith family do not treat us well. Whenever we argue, Mrs. Smith waits until Mr. Smith comes home from work so he can lash us with his large black leather belt. He hits us until we scream and cry with pain. The other day I was teaching Tony the nursery rhyme Humpty Dumpty, then suddenly Mr. Smith crept up on us and started lashing his belt at both of us. Little Tony was petrified and he started screaming and crying with anger and pain. When the winter arrived, we were locked out in the knee-length snow until Mr. Smith came home. One day, the neighbour took sympathy and brought us inside, but when Mr. Smith came home, we had to go back to their house. When you came to visit us, I was so happy. The dress, the straw hat and the beautiful patent shoes were lovely. I couldn't wait for Easter Sunday, so I didn't sleep a wink the day before. Finally, when Easter Sunday arrived, I got up and went to get my dress. To my surprisement, the dress wasn't in the cupboard, but on the Smith's daughter. I am heartbroken and I cannot express in words how devastated I am. Why can't we come home? Finally, we hope to see you very soon because we all miss you so much. I love you and Dad. From your loving daughter, Maureen. P.S. Joe and Tony love you and Dad too, and miss you.